What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we finally have the release date of Football Manager 2023. Yes, it is going to be November the 8th. Only a short time now to wait until you're going to get your hands on the brand new game. Maybe you're already starting to think and have an idea in your head of who you want to manage in the brand new game. Today, I'm going to show you a video that covers La Liga. We are going to look at 5 teams that could be interesting prospects as rebuilds on the game. We have got a big club, a little club, and everything in between. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump in and show you who is number 1 on the list. The club then at number 1 in the interesting rebuilds for FM23 in La Liga is Barcelona. It should have been the obvious one, the one that everybody will probably want to have a go at in FM23. Before I jump into the reasons why everybody will want to have a go at it, I need to give some credit where credit's due. A big thank you to the Notorious Pro and FTMU that have created this database. I'm using the database in FM22 currently that replicates FM23. It's been updated to the summer transfer window, so all of the transfers as of the 2nd of September are in the game. If you want to have a go at this database, you can download it. I will try and leave a link in the description, so yeah, get involved, have a go, and say thanks to the creators. Let's get back to Barcelona though. So as I was saying, Barcelona are one of the craziest clubs in the world right now. A couple of years ago, they were flying high, financially sound, not really troubling anybody. Then they decided to start spending money for fun. Players like Antoine Griezmann, Felipe Coutinho, Dembele. Yeah, they started just signing anybody and everybody to try and compete with Real Madrid. They kind of were building a Galacticos team without calling it a Galacticos team, and it all has really hit the fan because they lost the plot. They've had to sell off the name to the ground. They've had to put in place financial packages to pay people off. There was the Frankie de Jong saga in the summer about they couldn't pay him off. All of this adds up to an interesting rebuild project in FM23. Don't even know what the finances are going to be really in the game, because obviously this is a replicated database, so whatever is lurking in that finances tab there may not even necessarily be the truth. But let's do, as always, a breakdown of the club. Barcelona, estimated value of £1.5 billion. They are in the Champions League. Media predict them to finish in second. Their reputation is 4.5 stars. Not too sure how they wouldn't be a 5-star team, but hey ho. Training facilities 4.5 stars. Youth facilities 4.5 stars. Youth recruitment 4.5 stars. The owner loves the club. Well, I'm not too sure he will after everything that has gone on with the finances. They were founded in 1899. They play at the Spotify Camp Nou, and that has a capacity of 99,354, so you will have no problem getting ticket sales there. A little look then at the key employees. So your captain will be Sergio Busquets, your vice captain will be Gerard Piqué, your key player is going to be Robert Lewandowski, and the hot prospect is Balde. A club that really needs no introduction. They have been successful across the years, but it's all about what is lurking under this finances tab. So when you see minus £14.9 million as an overall balance, but they're going to give you 25 million to spend anyway, it seems absolutely crazy. But this is the fun of Barcelona. Now, this database reckons you've got massive wage budget gaps, but in real life they can't really use any of that. If we have a little look at debts and loans, is that replicated well? Bank loan, state loan, bank loan repayment to start, remaining. So they took out 1.21 billion overall. They have 832 million left to pay. There are varying dates between 2030 and 2032 and 2041. So the massive debt that is at the club is going to be your first objective to clear off. Looking at the squad then, as I said, this is an updated squad, so you can see all the players that they managed to sign and register, but not too sure how. So they start off with 3 goalkeepers. You've got Ter Stegen, you've got Pena. In fact, they've got 2 goalkeepers, Ter Stegen and Pena, because they sold Neto to Bournemouth. You've got Gerard Piqué, you've got Eric Garcia, you've got Jules Koundé, who caused all the controversy with Chelsea by turning up at Barca, even though they couldn't register him at one point. Ronald Araujo, You got Umtiti and Longley out on loan. You got Hector Bellerin, who was coming on a free transfer, former Arsenal and Real Betis player. Andreas Christiansen, who was at Chelsea. You've got the main man, Frankie de Jong, who kind of stood his ground and said, you're not going to be able to get rid of me. I want my money or I'm going nowhere. So he has stayed. He got absolutely criticised by a lot of people, but fair play to him for standing his ground and not being moved on. You've got Sergio Roberto, Jordi Alba, Alejandro Balde, Sergio Busquets. Miralem Pjanic is there. He's 31 now. Frank Kessie has signed on a free transfer from Milan. Gavi, Rafinha, who signed for Leeds in a big money deal. Pedri, Ousmane Dembele, Memphis Depay, Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, Robert Lewandowski, and Roberto Fernandes is on loan from somewhere. He's only 19, so not too sure if he's supposed to be in the first team or whether he'll be in the B team. Looking at the two players, or three players out on loan there. So you've got Griezmann, Trincao, Serginho Dest, and Nico all out on loan. Once those players come back, you're going to need to sell some of them because the wage bill is going to be massive. I don't even know if the teams that those players are at loan to are paying all of their wages. I have a feeling with Griezmann that is not the case. There is something weird going on in real life where if he plays over 75 minutes in a game or something, he has to be bought. So there are weird, wonderful intricacies to this save. If you are going to take on Barcelona, you're going to have a lot of fun in FM23 as always. Can you rebuild the mighty? Can you stand them tall once again? Let us know in the comments if you want to have a go at rebuilding Barcelona. The next club on the list then is Valencia, and like Barcelona, the previous club we've just looked at, they have a proud history in La Liga. However, in the past 10 years, they have had the bottom fall out of the club. They have had some dodgy owners come in who made some questionable decisions. Mr. Gary Neville. They had a lot of money at one point. They were spending money quite often. They had players like David Villa, moved him on to Barcelona. They have a proud heritage of Spanish players in Spanish football. But across the past couple of years, as I said, those dodgy decisions started to catch up with them. Across the past couple of years, though, they have been rebuilding from within and they have started to turn things around. At one point they looked like they were down in the dumps and could be heading out of La Liga, both for financial reasons and for poor performances on the pitch, but they have started to turn things around. Let's have a little look at Valencia then. So they are media predictions to finish in 9th. Estimated value of the club is only £200 million, so not the biggest financially. A 4-star reputation with 4-star training facilities, 4-star youth facilities and 3.5-star youth recruitment. They have the Mestalla, 55,000, so a good enough size stadium for you to get ticket sales in. Looking at the players that are at the club, so you got Jose Gaya as your captain, you'll have Gabriel Paulista as vice captain. Key player will be Jose Gaya, and then Mosquera is the hot prospect. I think this is going to be a team of a blend of experience and youth. I think there's massive potential for the club if you can go the right way about it. Looking at the finances tab then, you can see that, as I said, they have kind of put themselves back into a position of stability. £32.5 million overall in the bank. 21.3 of that is available at the start of the game. I do know that this is a custom database, so those figures might not be right for FM23, but if they're a rough ballpark figure, I would be happy with that to start off a rebuild with. Their wage budget, they are working within the wage budget, which is always a good sign too. Looking at the squad then, let's see what you will inherit when you start the game. So you have 3 goalkeepers, Mamadashvili, Domenech and Rivero in goal. So you've got Gabriel Paulista, as I said, he is a key player at the club, vice captain. Diakabi, Comare, you've got Guillamon, Gaia, Leito, you've got Randall Correa, who is Portuguese. Then you've got Dimitri Folkier, he's a right back or left back. You have a few players who then in on loan and out on loan, namely this player here, Ilyach Moriba. He's going to be a big thing in world football, we think. Left Barcelona to go to Leipzig, hasn't made a first team appearance there, but is now on loan in Valencia, so could carry on his career and go on to big things. You've got Yunus Musa, you've got Vicente Escuedo, you've got Andre Almeida, Samu Castillejo, Hugo Duro, Marcos Andre, and Edison Cavani, the brand new signing who signed on a free transfer on deadline day. Also, so there is a good squad there. As I said, this is going to be a blend of experience and youth. I think patching it all together, I mean, you have got a lot of players here as well on loan. Justin Kluivert, he is on loan from Roma. He was the player who nearly went to Fulham on deadline day. I think he did. And in fact, he couldn't, could he? He must have come to Valencia instead of going to Fulham. I do know at one point he was on deadline day going to Fulham. Must have ended up at Valencia because this is an updated database. So those are the players you're going to start with. It's not the biggest squad. You do have money in the bank. I think Valencia are an attractive enough team to go and sign the right types of players to rebuild the club. They're an interesting team because, as I said, they've hit the highs, they've hit the lows, and now they're kind of in the middle. They're looking for somebody to go and take them to the next step. If you think they're an interesting prospect, Valencia are a really good team to look at as a rebuild option in FM23. We now find ourselves in Seville. Sevilla are a team that obviously love winning the Europa League, 6 times champions. They have a good history and a proud history in Spanish football. They are a team that should be on the up, but in real life, they're a team that are struggling, which I think will make them a popular choice for a rebuild. They have some issues on the pitch. They also have a few issues off the pitch, but overall, they're a team that is really underperforming at the start of the 22-23 season. And as I said, I think it will be an attractive prospect for a lot of people to start a save with Seville. Let's have a quick look at the club and a rundown of them then. So their media prediction is 4th. Estimated value is £334 million. They are competing in the Champions League. Their reputation is 4 stars. Their training facility is 4 stars. Their youth facility is 4 stars. Their youth recruitment is only 3. They play at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, and it has a 43,883 seat capacity, so a decent enough stadium for you to be able to get money in via tickets. Looking at their key employees, you have captain is Jesus Navas, Fernando is their vice captain, and Gomez is their key player. Their hot prospect is a regen, so either that's a player that is a database filler, or this player is lurking somewhere in a youth team that we don't know about. But I'm going to go with he's a squad filler. Let's have a look then at the finances and what you're going to inherit when you get there. It states you start off with £45.7 million. And again, this is a database. It's a custom database. So these might not be accurate. But you will have £34 million in the bank to spend if that is correct. Wage budget is £1.496 million, and 1.3 of that is being spent. So they're a club that is being run well. They obviously have enough money in the bank to cover enough players for you to go out and rebuild the team. And there is a nice gap there in the wage budget for you to go out and spend on some players. Looking at the playing squad then, let's see what you will inherit. Yasin Bunu, Marko Dimitrovic are the 2 goalkeepers. 30 and 29, decent ages, both look decent players. I think that you're sound with goalkeepers. Then have quite a few defenders on the books. Marcao, Kerim Rakik. You've got Jesus Navas, who used to play for Manchester City as a winger, who's now converted to being a defender, wing-back, midfielder, attacking midfielder on the right. Gonzalo Montiel. You've got Tanguy Nianzo. You've got Nemanja Gudelj, Marcos Acuna, Fernando. Ivan Rakitic is back there after his years at Barcelona. 33 now, so obviously... Yes, 33. Sorry, I was reading the player below. 33 now, so obviously will be a year older once we get into the new game. But he's still a quality player on his day. Thomas Delaney, Yon Jordan, Jesus Corona. Suso, former Liverpool player, is at the club. Alejandro Gomez. Adnan Januzaj, former Manchester United player. I think he went to Sociedad and then has ended up at Seville. You've got Isco, who is there, 29 years old. Is there life in Isco yet? Come out of Real Madrid, gone to Seville. He's a player that on Football Manager 22 was always up for sale, always underperforming. Hopefully he can find some form in real life and can be of a help to the team. You've got Oliver. I'm going to go with Oliver. He's a 26-year-old midfielder. Eric Lamela, obviously former Tottenham player. We all know about him if you are English and watch the Premier League. Kasper Dolberg is at the club, and you've got Youssef En Naziri and Rafa Mir up top. So they have a decent squad with enough experience and enough youth as a blend for you to be able to go in and put your stamp on the club. You have got one or two players that I think would head straight to the exit doors, and you've got players that you could quite easily go out and pick up. You also have a good building block. You have like a base, a spine of the team where you've got like Rafa Mir up top. Your two goalkeepers are good. You've got a solid base in terms of Rekik and Marcao. So you could just build around those kinds of players. And I think that Valencia are an interesting prospect and somebody you should really look at as a rebuild option in FM23. Fourth on this list, and possibly one of the most popular teams, I think, both in real life and in Football Manager for a rebuild, is Real San Sebastian, or to you and me, Real Sociedad. I think they are an interesting choice because they have just been forced to sell their best player, Alexander Isak. It was a lot of money that he went to Newcastle for. He's made an instant impact in the Premier League. Has he left a massive hole in the team? Obviously, they got a lot of money for him, which hopefully means that when you start the game, there will be a pot of gold waiting for you to go and rebuild the team. They did make some transfers in the August transfer window, so we will go through those in just a second. We run through the club though. Media predicted to finish 6th, £251 million in value. You'll play in the Europa League in the first season. You have a 4-star reputation as a club, 4.5-star training facility reputation, 4.5-star youth facilities, and 2.5-star youth recruitment. So that is the thing you are probably going to want to focus on first, developing that youth recruitment. They play their home games at the Anoeta. It has a 39,500 capacity. It was only built in 1993. Don't know what the likelihood of expansion is, but it's a decent enough ground for a team of their size. Looking at their key players then, you've got Illarramendi as your captain. You'll have Ariothabal as vice captain and key player. And Mohamed Ali Cho is the hot prospect, and he is one of those summer transfer window signings. Let's look then at the finances and show you exactly what you are going to be playing with. Now, again, this is a custom database, so these figures might not be exact, but they roughly estimate 44.3 million in the bank, 25.6 million pounds as a transfer budget, and you will be under your wage budget by about 48,000 pounds. So that is decent enough. You need to go dip straight into the market and start the rebuild instantly. You're going to have enough money to go out and buy at least a few players to bulk the team out. The thing you're going to have to find out is how much of a model player was Alexander Isak. How much was he carrying the team forwards, and can you go on without him? Speaking of can you go on without him, let's look at their squad then. So you have two goalkeepers, Alex Ramiro and Andoni Zubier. I apologise if I butcher any names in these videos. You've got some defenders, Robin Lenormand, Artis Elustondo, Andoni Grossabel, Igor Zubaldia, Diego Rico. You've got Ian Munoz, Asiel Ramendi, who is a big name. Obviously, he's getting on a bit now, 31 years old, but still massive name in terms of Real Sociedad. Ander Guevara, Martin Zubimendi, you got Bernat Turinentes, Mikel Marino, Takafusa Kubo, who is a previous wonder kid from FM. I think they might have signed him on a permanent deal. He's contracted to the club now, so yes, it looks like he has left Real Madrid on a permanent deal. Doesn't say there was any money involved, but he's at the club. Interesting to see that they have got him, bright prospect. You got Brais Mendes, David Silva, who is obviously Manchester City legend, has gone to play for Sociedad. Martin Mercalanes. You've got Ander Barranchia, Robert Navarro, Carlos Fernandez, Mikel Orothoboyo, Mohamed Ali Cho, and Umar Sadiq. You've got Alexander Soloth also at the club, big 6-foot player, 6'4", so two big centre forwards, and you've also got quite a lot of squad players there to build around. Again, this is a club that I think will be a very popular choice for a rebuild because you've got a lot of experienced players. You've got players that have played for a lot bigger clubs. You've also got players that are younger. You've got Mohamed Ali Cho, who was a wonder kid in the previous game, 17 years old. I think he could step into Alexander Isak's shoes. They're going to have to give him time and see if the hype is real. I think they're a really good prospect, a really good club, and I think they're a really good option for a rebuild. Last but not least on this list is a team that narrowly avoided relegation from La Liga last season. This one is more for the football purist and those who love a hard challenge. We are going to Cadiz. You can see they are a smaller team, don't really have the reputation of the big boys. They are a bit of a yo-yo club. They have been up and down quite a few times. I think that this is the perfect challenge for anybody who wants to push their limits in FM23. They might be a popular challenge because even in real life they haven't really performed as well as they should have done. Looking at the club as a whole, media predicted 19th. As I said, they are relegation fodder and firmly in the relegation candidate bracket. Estimated value of the club is £119 million, so nowhere near the other values of the clubs we've looked at already. They have a 3-star reputation, so signing bigger name players might be difficult. 3.5-star training facility, 3.5-star youth facility, and a 1.5-star youth recruitment. That says to me that you probably cannot rely on bringing players through as youth players. This is why you're going to have to go out and rebuild from outside of the club, meaning it's going to be an even bigger challenge when you've only got a 3-star reputation and a team that's narrowly avoided relegation the season before. Looking at their ground, Nuevo Mirandilla, they play in front of 25,033 people. The stadium condition is good. It was built in 1955. Looks like they could have a bit of expansion if you need it, but they probably don't have the fan base for it at the beginning of the game. Looking at their key employees then, captain is Jose Mari, Salvi Sanchez is the vice captain, Lucas Perez is the key player, and Bastida is your hot prospect. Let's have a little look at the finances then and see what you've got or what you haven't got to spend. Again, as I keep saying throughout the whole video, this is a custom database. These are rough numbers. There will be £7.5 million in the bank, £5.5 million available to you to start the rebuild. You're going to have to go and find the cheap wonder kids if you want to buy them on this one. Wage budget, 30,000-ish in that. So if those numbers are correct, this will be by far the biggest challenge to go out and attract the type of players that you want. We'll have a look at the squad in a minute. They may have some players that you could move on to try and bump that up a bit. But in general, Cadiz look like a team that should be relegated and in real life probably will be relegated. Let's have a look then at the squad. You can see that they have 2 goalkeepers, Ledesma and Gil in goal, Kaya, Hernandez, Chust as centre-backs. Then you've got Zaldua, Iza, Garrido, Fali, Espino, Arzamendia, Jose Mari, Ruben Alcaraz. They've got Fede San Emeterio, Thomas Alarcon, Orwa Mabil, Theo Bongonda, Alex Fernandez, Ivan Alejo, Alvaro Jimenez, Ruben Sobrino, Brian Ocampo, Lucas Perez, Alvaro Negredo, former Manchester City striker, is at the club, and Anthony Lozano rounds the squad out. So again, this is a lot of players that just seem to be a little bit mashed together. You've got some really experienced players like Negredo. You've got some younger players in there too. A couple of kids that you're going to have to develop probably to get the best out of them. You can't really turn to your youth system, so it's going to be a case of building from outside. It's already a big thing when you are relegation candidates to begin with. It's how you're going to build this club from the inside out. Maybe you're going to have to build from the outside in is more like it. I think these are a cracking little team, and I think in terms of a real life project, they would be fantastic as a football team in FM23. This is going to be difficult, and if you take this on, well done to you. There we go then. That is 5 clubs that I think will be challenging prospects in FM23 if you are looking to rebuild a team. You've got the big teams like Barcelona and Valencia, and then you've got Cadiz thrown in there as well for a bit of a challenge. I think out of the 5 teams, the ones that I would go for the most are probably Barcelona, Sociedad and Cadiz. I think Cadiz just throws up a whole different ball game to Barcelona. Barcelona, if you can sell those players on, and you're going to have to use every trick in the book to try and get them off the books. Barcelona you could turn into a success pretty quickly, but Cadiz are the one. If you could avoid relegation in your first season, you can build from there. They would be an absolute fantastic choice as a rebuild challenge going forwards in the game. For this one then, I'm going to start wrapping it up. Before I go, if you go and check out anything on the channel, we have something else. Something for everybody is here. We've got Tactics Wonder Kids, there's Let's Plays, yeah, if you go off and find another video, hit thumbs up on there and let me know in the comments section down below that video to let me know you found something else that you like. For this one, also, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, please consider doing so. I appreciate every single person that takes their time to come here and watch the videos and interact with the channel. For this one though, I'm going to leave it there. A big thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on another video soon.